Welcome to this week's Patreon practice. So quite a lot of focus on the hips today. We're going to be thinking about flexion and extension, so opening up kind of and into external rotation as well. So expect some lunges, some warrior poses, and we might come through into our squats if we have time at the end. So just starting to bring the soles of your feet together in front of you. Now if you want to sit on a block or a cushion you can do. Have your feet further away rather than close in. And we're going to come in, if it feels okay for you, with a rounded spine, so kind of yin style. If you've got any herniated discs, or if that just doesn't feel good in your back, then come down with a flatter back. But just letting yourself start to kind of drape forwards. And if you can find a way to support your elbows, so you could have them on, you might have some blocks in front of you, could support your elbows on your blocks. Then you can rest your head in your hands. So just close down your eyes. Soften your face. And just release any tension you might be feeling in your shoulders. Connecting to breath. Just a couple more longer, slower breaths here. In and out through the nose if that feels okay for you. And then nice and slowly, use your next in-breath, bring yourself back through to upright. Okay, so keep the feet where they are, just holding on to your lower legs, and we'll just take a few rounds of happy cat to angry cat. So you're just starting to find a little bit of extension and flexion through the spine. So heart draws forwards, chest lifts on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, you're rounding your spine, tipping the pelvis back, chin to chest. Couple more. And then come back through to upright. And then we're just going to start to circle the body. So you're still kind of working through that flexion and extension, but now also side to side. And we'll take it both directions. And then come back through to upright and place your hands on your shoulders, and we're just going to start to circle the elbows. So nice big circles through the elbows. And take it back, opposite direction. And then we'll just release the hands, intertwine the fingers, and we'll just circle into the wrist. Again, just a couple of times each way. And then you might choose to just shake out the hands a little bit. And then we're going to come over onto all fours. So placing knees under hips, wrists underneath shoulders. Finding a little bit of space between your fingers. And then on your next in-breath, extend the right leg out behind you. Start to engage through your core, crown of the head reaches forwards. And then we're going to see if we can lift the right hand away from the mat. So you heard that right. Right hand and right leg lift. Keep your gaze down on one spot. And then bring the hand and the knee back down onto your mat. And then we'll do the other side. Left leg lifts out behind you. And maybe you just stay there. Maybe you can float the left arm out in front. And then on your out breath, bring the hand and the knee back down onto the mat. And we'll come into a modified side plank. Just right foot out behind you. Left leg out. So your right hand, right knee and left foot are all in one line. And we'll take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Lengthen there through the left arm. On your out breath, bring the hand down, thread it through underneath your right. Inhale to extend it up. Exhale to thread it through. Inhale up. Exhale, thread. 2 more. And then take the left arm back up towards the ceiling. And then draw the arm forwards over your ear. So you're really extending into the side body. And then on your out breath, I'm going to do side crunches. So left elbow to left knee. Inhale to extend, exhale to crunch it in. We'll do 3 more. So extend it out again there, a little press up at the hips, so you're really getting into the side body, lengthen. And then on your out breath, we're going to bring the left hand back down, come back down onto all fours, and we'll do the other side. Swing your left foot out to the side, right leg out behind you, right arm up towards the ceiling. Shoulders roll away from the ears. And then on your out breath, you're bringing that right arm down, thread it through underneath the left. Inhale to take it up. Exhale to thread it through. 3 more. And then take the right arm back up towards the ceiling. Lengthen there, draw the right arm forwards over your ear. And then we'll add in those side crunches. So on your out breath, right knee to right elbow. Inhale it out, exhale, crunch it in. 3 more. Well done. Extend it out there again for a minute. So you're grounding into the right foot, pressing up through the hips as you reach out through the right fingers. And then on your out breath, bringing the right hand back down onto your mat, your right knee down. And let's just creep the hands forwards, Anahata Asana. Couple of breaths there. Let the heart melt down. You can come onto your forehead. You can pop your forehead on a prop if it doesn't reach the floor. Couple of long, slow breaths. And then use your next in-breath. Come back up onto all fours. We'll tuck the toes and find our way into downwards facing dog. That's Neo barking downstairs. So if you want to pad out your feet, you can find a little bit of movement. Maybe give the head shake. And then on your next in-breath, walk your hands in towards your feet to find your dangling forward bend. Bend the knees if you need to. Hook onto your opposite elbows. Have a couple of breaths here. Maybe a little bit of movement through the head and the neck. Crown of the head, shoulders, all kind of moving down towards the floor. Although you're not hunching well, you're not, the shoulders are just hanging. And then release your hands back down, walk it back into your downwards facing dog. And use your next in-breath to sweep the right leg up behind you. On your out breath, you're going to bring it through one-legged plank, so shoulders come forwards over wrists. Hips go up and back. One-legged down dog. Now if this is too much, just drop the right foot down onto the mat and do the same thing with both feet down. So a couple more times. Inhale forwards to plank. Exhale, hips up and back. Inhale forwards to plank. Exhale, hips up and back. And then bring your right foot back down onto your mat, and we'll do the other side. So inhale, left leg floats up. Exhale, bring it forwards. Hips up and back. Couple more times. Again, keep the left foot down if you need to. Strong in the core. And bring your left foot back down onto your mat. So take a breath there. And then look forwards, and as you inhale, you can step or you can jump your feet forward between your hands. Find your halfway lift. As you exhale, fold in, head to legs. Your inhale is going to bring you all the way through to upright. And exhale, the hands come through to the heart. I'm just going to step back a bit because I'm going to hit my head. So bring the feet together. Lengthen there on your out breath. We're going to sink the hips. Hands in prayer at the heart centre. And then we're going to twist to the right. So take the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Keep looking down because we're going to take the weight to the right foot and step the left foot back into a lunge. Now again, you can keep looking down or you can look up and beyond your right elbow if that feels okay for you. Gently press up through the left thigh. And then keep the legs as they are, keep the hands at the heart centre. You're just going to bring the upper body up, kind of so it's upright. So you're in a twist, a lunging twist. And once you're there, we'll extend the arms out to the sides. Drop the right hand down to the left thigh, flip the left palm, and reverse your lunge. Lift up through the heart, reach up through the left fingers. On your next in-breath, you're going to turn back to face the front of your mat. So you're in a high lunge. And your next in-breath, we're going to step the left foot forward to join the right, back into Tadasana. Hands at the heart centre. And then we'll do the other side. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. So gaze is down to help you balance. We'll step back with the right foot and find that lunge. You can always drop the right knee down onto the mat if you wish. Press up through the right thigh, extend out through the crown of the head. And then keeping the legs as they are, on your in-breath, we'll bring the torso through to upright, still in that twist. And extend the arms. So left hand drops to the back of the right thigh, right palm flips. You're reversing your lunge. Lift up through the heart space. Your next in-breath is going to turn you back to face the front edge of your mat. And then this time we're going to step the feet together, hands come to the heart centre. So into Tadasana rather than your chair pose. Maybe just rock for a little on the feet, backwards and forwards. And then take your hands to your waist, heel toe your feet hip width apart, lengthen on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, fold forwards. So if you can comfortably reach, we're going to take the hands underneath the feet. If you can't, just hold on to your shins, keep the knees bent if you need to. Lengthen on your in-breath, and on your out-breath, fold in. Couple of breaths here. Get into the back of your legs. And then on your next in-breath, look up, halfway lift, release the hands out, take them to the floor, step back into your plank pose. So shoulders roll away from the ears. Maybe you can lift the right foot up a little bit away from the mat. You can always drop your knees down onto the mat if you wish. Maybe you can float the left hand up in front of you. Bring it back down. Let's do the other side. Left foot floats. Maybe the right hand floats. Bring it back down. A little roll forwards. We're going to lower all the way to the floor. Untuck the toes. Hands under shoulders. Find your way into a cobra. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Lift up through the heart. On your out breath, bring it back down. I'm going to tuck the toes, press up to plank. Hips up and back. Downwards facing dog. Connect to your breath, and then you're going to, on your next in-breath, float the right leg up behind you, bend the right knee, stack the right hip on top of the left. Just a breath there, and then we're going to bring the right leg forward, step the right foot through between the hands, ground the left foot, Virabhadrasana 1 as you inhale. Your choice whether you look forwards or up. Any issues with that back leg, with any of the joints, the hip, the knee or the ankle, you can come onto the ball of the foot instead. And then on your out breath, drop the hands at the cusp and behind you, walk your right foot out to the side, just an inch or so. Lift up through the heart on the in breath, and on your out breath, fold forwards to the inside of your right leg. So humble warrior. Have a little bit of focus on your shoulders, finding some stretch there, keeping the bend in the right knee. And then we'll use our next in-breath. Come back up through to that warrior 1. Walk your right foot back to the midline of your mat. And then open it up, Virabhadrasana 2. So your right knee is trucking out over your toes, legs strong. And then we'll find our way into Parsvakonasana. So right forearm to the thigh, left arm reaches out over your ear. A deeper version if you wish, you can find a bind, or you can drop the right hand to the floor. I'm going to take the bind. Now we're going to bring this up into a balance. If you're not binding, you're going to take the peace fingers of the right hand around the right big toe and the left hand to the waist. If you're binding, you've got your bind. Weight into the right foot, you're going to step the left foot forwards. And then weight into the left leg. As you inhale, you're going to lift up the right leg. Now maybe you keep the right leg bent, maybe you can straighten it out. Take one more breath. We're going to step it back into Parsvakonasana, so bend the right knee, step the right foot back down on the mat. Left foot steps back out behind you, so you're back in your bind. And then we'll release it out. Hands down to frame the right foot, pivot onto the ball of the left foot. Step it back to plank. You can move through a vinyasa. You can go straight to your downwards facing dog. Take a breath there, heavy through the heels, a little bit of engagement in the lower abs. And then inhale, left leg floats up behind you, bend the left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right. When you're ready, square off the hips. You're going to step the left foot through between the hands, ground the right foot, Virabhadrasana 1. Any shoulder issues, tired arms, just drop the hands down to the waist. Staying connected to your breath. Really grounding through the little toe side of your right foot. And then on your out breath, we'll take the hands behind us, clasping them the awkward way, opposite thumb and finger on top. Left foot out to the left a little, lift up through the heart, and on your out breath, fold forwards to the inside of your left leg. So again, just a little bit of getting into the shoulders. Try not to swing your hips out to the left too much, almost gently right hip forwards. And then your next in-breath brings you back through to that Virabhadrasana 1. Walk your left foot back towards the midline of your mat, and then open it up to your right, Virabhadrasana 2. Strong legs. Lengthening out through the arms. And then your version of Parsvakonasana. Again, whether that's forearm to thigh or the hand to the floor. Reach out through those left fingers, so getting into the side body. And then I'm going to take the bind, but if you're not doing, peace fingers around of the left hand around the left big toe, right hand to the waist. And when you've got that, we're going to step the right foot forwards, put your weight into the right leg, inhale, see if you can come up into your balance, left leg lifts. You can stay there, or you can start to straighten out that left leg. Your chest open, one more round of breath. And then bend your left knee, left foot back down. We'll step the right foot back behind us. You're back in Parsvakonasana. And then release the hands. You're going to step that left foot back, plank, your choice, downwards facing, or move through your vinyasa. All meeting in downwards facing dog. Just taking a breath. And then on your next inhale, floating the right leg up behind you. And as you exhale, you're just going to step the right foot through between the hands. And then we're going to pivot to our left and come up to standing into our goddess pose. So just a little bit of movement here, a little bit of pulsing. And if you need to come out for a few minutes, you just straighten up the legs and then you come back. Okay, we'll just hold it still, one more breath. And then keep the hands at the heart centre. You're going to pivot to your right. So turning to face the front edge of your mat, you pivot onto the ball of the left foot. So you're in a high lunge. And then if you need your hands for support, drop them down. We're going to gently bring the left knee back down onto your mat. So you're coming through into your lunge. Squeeze in the inner thighs, draw the hips forwards and down. Keep the right knee over your ankle and take the arms up alongside your ears. Lift up through the heart space. Maybe there's a little bit more of a back bend there. And then draw the hands back to the heart centre. We're going to bring the hands to the floor on the inside of that right foot. Walk your right foot out to the side an inch or so. And then maybe you stay here for your lizard pose. Maybe you drop down onto your forearms. Maybe you can tuck the left toes and lift the left knee away from the mat. So just find the place that suits you. Keep the chest open, breath flowing. And then the left knee comes back down onto your mat. Come back up onto your hands. Turn your right foot to the diagonal. So it's maybe turning to 2 o'clock. And take the right arm out behind you. And then if it feels okay, you can pick up the left foot with the right hand and draw the foot in towards you. Open through the right shoulder, reach the crown of the head nice and long so you keep the spine long. And then release the left foot, come back through to face centre, and then we're going to take the right hand back to the outside of the right foot, tuck the left toes underneath and bring it back up into your high lunge. Draw the hands down to the heart, pivot to face the left on your mat, you're back in your goddess pose. Keep a nice, even, equanimous breath. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to pivot to your left. And once you've done that, reach the arms up alongside the ears. Again, if you need the support of the hands, then just drop them down to the mat. Slowly lower your right knee down. You can always put padding underneath the knee if you need it. Squeeze in the inner thighs and then bring the hips forwards and down. Left knee stacks over your ankle. So you don't want the knee going beyond the ankle. So make sure that left foot is out far enough in front. And then maybe there's a little bit more of a back bend there. Lifting up through the heart space. And then drawing the hands down to the heart, we'll take them to the floor to the inside of the left foot. Walk your left foot out to the side a little. And again, your choice. Maybe you come down onto your forearms. Maybe you tuck your right toes and lift the right knee away from the mat. Chest stays open. Try and keep the spine long. Keep your left knee drawing in towards your shoulder. And then dropping back down onto your right knee, coming back up onto your hands. Turn your left foot against the diagonal, so maybe it's facing 10 or 11 o'clock, and your left arm extends out behind you. And if you can, maybe you pick up your right foot with your left hand. You draw the heel in towards you. Try not to lose the lunge. What we can do in trying to do this is take the hips back. So you still want that kind of forwards and down through the hips. One more breath. And then release your right foot. Bring your hands to the floor. Left foot back towards the midline of your mat. Tuck the right toes, lift the knee, bring it back up into your high lunge. We'll pivot back into that goddess pose. And then on your next in-breath, we'll straighten the legs. Turn the feet to parallel. Clasp the hands behind your back. Lift up through the heart on your in-breath, and on your out-breath, soften your knees and find your forward fold. Couple of breaths here. Maybe just give the head a little bit of a shake. Maybe you can release the hands a little bit more, drop into the shoulders a bit more. And then soften your knees, engage your core. As you inhale, bring yourself back through to upright. And then we're going to step the feet back together at the front edge of the mat. So give your legs a little bit of a wobble. And then we'll vinyasa. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back. So you can go straight to downwards facing, or you can move through your chaturanga, your up dog, into your downwards facing. Okay, take your feet a little bit wider, turn your toes to face out, walk your hands in towards your feet, and you're walking yourself into Malasana, your squat. So you can always sit on a block or a brick, or you can drop your bum all the way down onto the floor and be here if you prefer. Let's intertwine the fingers, get into your shoulders. No, they're wrists, get into your wrists. Okay, take your left hand to the floor, right arm extends up towards the ceiling, finding your twist. If you want to bind, you can bind your hands around your left leg. Just keep reaching the crown of the head out so you keep the spine long. Your in-breath will bring you back through centre. We'll do the other side, right hand down, left arm up. Again, you've got a choice to find that bind. And then your next in-breath will bring you back through centre. And then nice and gently, if you need your hands to help you, then use them. You're just going to sit yourself back on your mat. So I'm just going to come forward to get a little bit and give myself a bit more space. So you're sat down, and then just gently drop your knees over to your right. Sitting up nice and tall, come back through centre, and then over to the left. Bring it back through centre, over to the right. Back through centre, and over to the left. And then bring it back through centre. You're going to keep your right foot where it is and extend your left leg out wide. Hold on to your right ankle with your left hand. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Lengthen there. On your out breath, you're tipping left. You're trying to reach your right hand in the general direction of your left foot, and you're looking up underneath your upper right arm. So you're not dropping your right arm down in front of your face. If you can't reach your foot, fine. Wherever you are is absolutely fine. Couple of breaths there. If it doesn't feel good to look up, you can just look forwards or down. And then use your next in-breath, come back through upright. We'll swap it over. So left leg bends, right leg extends. Hold on to your left ankle with your right hand. Lengthen on your in-breath, and you're tipping over, left hand reaching towards the right foot. Take one more breath here. Inhale, bring it back through upright. And now, as long as this movement is all right for you, some people's bodies don't like the internal rotation here, but we're going to drop the left knee down to the mat. Take the top of the foot to face down. So right leg is extended, left leg is bent up behind you. Now if your body doesn't like this, then come into your cobra or your up dog instead. It's a really good alternative. So we're going to start to lie backwards. The other thing you can do here is sit on blocks of cushions as well. You can use cushions if you wish. So you might just drop your hands behind you and stay there. If you're on cushions, don't go any further. You might come down onto your forearms. It might be that you can come all the way down onto your mat. So just a nice stretch in that left leg. If you're not feeling anything, you can bend your right leg, take your right foot down onto the mat, and if you're still not getting the stretch, maybe you can bring your right leg in towards you. Connect to your breath. Awareness of the sensations in your body. As always, any pain, you just come straight out the pose. And then use your next in-breath to bring yourself back through to upright. And we'll just swap it over. Straighten out the left leg. We're just going to bend up the right leg. So again, cobra, up dog, really good alternative if your hips don't like this movement. You can stay here, you can just drop back onto your hands, you can come onto your forearms, or you can come all the way down. And again, if that's not enough, you bend up that left leg and maybe draw the left knee in towards the chest. Relax your face and your shoulders. And one more round of breath here. And then use your next in-breath to bring yourself back through to upright and release out your legs. Give them a little bit of a wobble. And then we're just going to find a forward fold. So just release out your hips, lengthen the spine, nice flat back, and on your exhale, fold forwards. Bend your knees if you need to. Breath in and out through the nose. Just trying to find a sense of calm, a sense of peace in each pose that you move through. Santosha is contentment. Find contentment wherever you are. Two more rounds of breath. And then use your next in-breath. Gently bring yourself back through to upright. And we're going to lie ourselves back down on our mats for our Shavasana. So if you at this point want to turn me off and go and grab blankets and pillows and music, switch off lights, switch off phones, doing all that, and just taking your own Shavasana. Or maybe just lying yourself back down as you are. Softening the shoulders and the face. Letting the arms and the legs rest heavily on your mat. And staying as long as you need to. I'll catch you next time. Namaste.